Okay, I got out my social studies book and I'm turning to page 388. This chapter is about business. So our yellow words are product, producer, entrepreneur, consumer, interdependence, wage, and income. So a product is anything that is made and available to be purchased. A producer is anyone that makes a product, and science producer was something different. Entrepreneur is anyone that creates a business. Consumer is anyone that purchases a product. So if you've been to the store lately, you have been a consumer. Interdependence, so we're going to have to look up that one together. I can't remember. Just kidding. Wage is money that you make for working, and income is how much total wage you bring in to your household for working. All right, workers and consumers. So we're going to read this page and then move on and look. My page pulled a haven and it ripped. I'm sorry. In a community, some people grow or make products to sell. A product is a good. Other workers provide services such as haircuts and car washes. People work together. Think about how busy you would be if you had to make all the things that you use every day. You would have to grow your own vegetables. If you wanted meat, eggs, and milk, you would have to raise animals. Early settlers had to make much of what they used. But as towns grew and became boom towns, people were able to share the work with others in their community. There's some guys building a barn a long time ago. It looks like a bunch of gentlemen working to build that barn for the little family. Looks like they're down here in the corner. And the photo's black and white, so you know it's old-timey. On this page it says long ago versus today. Oscar Weissenborn's pencil-making business was long ago, or is long ago in this photograph. And then today, that looks like one of those how it's made videos. And in fact, if you look below, I have a link to how it's made pencils. Imagine that. But I noticed a big difference between today and long ago. There's a bunch of gentlemen there. And then on this one, it looks to be just a machine. We'll check it out in the how it's made video. People depend on producers. People in a community depend on producers for goods and services. A producer is someone who makes a product or provides a service. Oscar Weissenborn learned how to use graphite and clay to make pencils. In 1889, he began making pencils in his home in New Jersey. At that time, most pencils were made in other countries. People began buying Weissenborn's pencils, and then he hired more people. He moved his business into a larger building. Sounds like he's doing pretty good with his business. Oscar Weissenborn was an entrepreneur. That is a French term. An entrepreneur is a person who starts and runs a business. How many of your parents started their own business and maybe still run their own business today? Comment below with what kind of business, your parents started. Entrepreneurs provide goods or services and create jobs for workers. So those of you whose parents have a business, do they also have workers? You can tell this book was dated. Their outfits are old school. People buy things. Yes, they do, especially lately. A person who buys a product or a service is a consumer. Consumers buy pencils in all sizes, shapes, and colors. Students buy pencils for school. Some artists buy colored pencils to use for drawing, while other consumers buy pencils to write at home or at work. I hope you got some pencils in your big envelope from me. Producers are always trying to make new and better cars, computers, TVs, toys, cereals, iPads, iPods, you name it, headphones, and they are always advertising those new products because they want to keep your money coming. As a result, consumers have more products to choose from all the time. Sometimes you have to compare products too. Oh, there's another word we didn't quite know. Just kidding. People help each other. Well, that looks like something we've been talking about on the news a lot. People depend on the services doctors provide to help them stay healthy. Please stay healthy over the next week. Producers and consumers in a community depend on one another. Producers depend on consumers to buy the goods they make. Consumers depend on producers to provide goods and even services for them to buy. So you come to Christ the King, you have tuition, your parents are paying for a service. You get your hair cut, you're paying for a service. You have someone building your fence noisily in your backyard. I'm not paying him from that service, but some people might. You have to buy the material, though, to build the fence. So that would be being a consumer, buying a product. So a service is when you pay someone else to do the work for you or to help you with something. Depending on one another is called interdependence. Consumers trade or exchange things for what they want. They usually trade money for goods and services. That's the most standard operating procedure now. But sometimes, like we read last week in Cocoa Ice, they would trade or bargain or make a deal with each other. This gentleman is paying with money. Looks like $25. I don't have my glasses on. And they're getting flowers. Some nectarines or peaches. So this is a farmer's market. I know a couple of you have discussed visiting a farmer's market. So this man is the farmer. He grew these nectarine peaches. And then now he's selling them usually downtown or on the square. And people walk up and they pay him for them. So he's kind of like a small-scale Walmart or a Harps, but without all the workers. People start businesses. This is a pretty lady. Leticia Herrera. She runs a business that provides cleaning services to other businesses in Chicago. Her workers also fix up old buildings for businesses. Like people everywhere, Herrera's workers depend on their jobs for money. The money people earn at work is called a wage. It is also called income. In the U.S., people can choose the jobs they will do to make money. So some jobs pay more than others, but that's okay. How do people in a community depend on one another? How do people pay for the goods they need? You're already doing number 2 in the comments. Tell me about what it means to be an entrepreneur or even an example. What are some goods that you buy as a consumer? What are some services that you buy as a consumer? You can write that in your journal. You've got a spiral notebook in your stuff, and make sure you title it Social Studies, and I would love for it to be in cursive. All right, see you later.